Hello everyone and welcome! In this video we're going to be talking about Google Slides. We're going to talk about creating presentations, inserting and arranging text, inserting and arranging objects, and linking objects and text. Well, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we need to do is create a brand new presentation. So, browse to your Google Drive, browse to the folder that you want to create a new presentation in, and select the New button from the top. Then select Google Slides. Once your new Google Slide presentation comes up, go ahead and title your presentation. Click off the presentation title, and that will save the document with the brand new title. On the very first slide, once you open up a brand new presentation, you'll see that there's a template prepared for you. And you can click to add a title, and add a subtitle. On the left-hand side, you should also see a number of themes that pop up automatically for you. You can select any one of these themes that you'd like and apply it to your presentation. If the Themes window doesn't pop open for you, you can select the Change Theme button from the menu at the top, and then it will pop up for you. Once you're done selecting your theme, you can go ahead and click the Close button. Right now, we only have a title slide in our presentation, so let's go ahead and add another page. I'm going to click on Slide from the menu and select New Slide. By default, a template comes up with the title at the top and allowing you to add text in the slide. You can change the slide's layout very easily by clicking on the Layout button at the top. I'm going to click the drop down and I'm going to select a different type of slide. I'm going to choose a blank slide. By the way, if you do have a slide that has objects on it and you want to delete those objects, it's really easy to do. You just simply have to click on the object and then click on the blue bar that highlights the object, and then you can press the delete key on your keyboard. Alternatively, you can just drag over the top of the object and then let go. That will select the object for you, and then you can press the delete key on your keyboard. Okay, well, let's go ahead and add some text to this slide. I know I just deleted some text boxes, but I wanted to show you how to go ahead and add text and a text box by yourself. You can't just type in a slide without having a text box in the slide. So let's go ahead and add a text box by clicking on the text box button in the menu at the top. Then you simply have to click and hold and draw a text box in the location where you want it to appear on your slide. Well, I'm going to go ahead and type some text. That text is going to end up being a link or a hyperlink to the Heartland Schools website, because I want to be able to show you how to add a link to an external website. I'm also going to add some additional text that says go to the title slide in this presentation. And by the way, you can click and drag on any one of these handles that you want to resize the text box and make it larger or smaller as you so choose. This little circle at the top here in text boxes and objects allows you to click on it and then you drag it to the left or the right to change the orientation of the text or the object in your Google Slide presentation. If you hold the Shift key on your keyboard as you're doing that, it will snap to a certain number of degree angles and it will allow you to easily level your text or set your text at 90 degrees or whatever the case may be. If you want to change the location of the text on your slide, you simply have to hover over your text box so that your four-headed arrow appears, then click and hold and drag that text box to wherever you want it to be dragged to. Well, let's go ahead and talk about adding a hyperlink. So I'm going to hover over Heartland Schools website and highlight it. Then I'm going to browse to the Heartland Consolidated Schools website, and I'm going to select the URL at the top and press Control-C to copy the text, and then browse back to the slide presentation, and I'm going to click on the button that says Insert Link, or you can right-click while your text is highlighted and select Link from the pop-up menu. In the Link field, I'm going to press Ctrl-V on my keyboard to paste the text for the link to the Heartland Schools website, and I'm going to click Apply. That sets a hyperlink on that text. We can do the same thing in order to browse to different slides within this existing presentation by highlighting the text and going to the Insert Link button and clicking on it, or by right-clicking on the highlighted text and clicking on the link option that pops up in the pop-up menu. And then there's a little triangle next to the words slides in this presentation. You can click on that triangle to expand it, and then you have some options from which to choose. You can choose to link to the previous slide, the first slide, in this case, or slide 1 or slide 2. Now, if there were more slides you'd have in the presentation already, you'd have more slides available from which to choose. And you'd also have a next slide that you could choose from as well. Well, I know I want to link to the title slide, so I'm going to select the title slide and then click Apply. Now that link in presentation mode, when clicked on, will take you to the title slide of the presentation. Okay, let's talk about the types of objects that we can add to our Google Slide presentations. If you click on the Insert button, you'll see a lot of different types of objects aside from a text box that you can add to your slide presentations. I'm going to go ahead and hover over Image. We can upload an image from our computer. We can search the web for an image. We can add images from our Google Drive. We can add images from our Google Photos by URL or by any of the cameras that are attached to your computer, including your document camera. I'm going to go ahead and go to my Drive, and I'm going to add this picture of the lock. I'm going to double-click on that picture to insert it into my presentation. Then I can hover over any of the handles, and I can select the handles, and I can move those handles down and change the size of the image. If I hover over a corner handle and click on it and drag it up or down, the image changes with regard to the aspect ratio of the image and keeps the same aspect ratio, width to height. If I hover over one of the side handles and I click and drag on those, it will stretch the image vertically or horizontally. I can also take the image and hover over that little circle at the top, and I can click and hold and then drag the image to change its orientation. With the image selected, I can also click on the crop button at the top and select one of the black handles now and change the crop of the image so that it looks a little bit different than when I originally inserted it. If I want that image to appear behind the text, I simply have to order the image behind the text. So I'm going to highlight the image and right-click on it, and I'm going to select Order, and then I'm going to select Send Backward. And now it exists behind the text. This image isn't a great example because it is more difficult to see when it's sitting behind the text. One of the challenges that you'll see that I just came across is that once you place an image behind the text box might appear on the top, and then when you go to select the image, you select the text instead. So you might have to change the arrangement of your text in order to grab your image again to get it out from behind the text. Well, let's go ahead back up to our Insert command and look at a different type of object to insert. You can insert a shape. You can insert a variety of different types of shapes, 3-dimensional and 2-dimensional, arrows, callouts, or equation symbols. I'm going to go ahead and insert a shape. Once I click on the type of shape I want to insert, I simply have to draw it out by clicking and dragging with my mouse. With the shape highlighted, and by the way, highlighting the shape, you can just click on it. Once the shape is highlighted, notice up here what happens when I click on the shape. The menu changes, and I get a variety of different types of tools that I can then use with my shape. I can change the fill color. I can change the line color. I can change the line thickness, the type of the line, etc. Inside your object, if you double click, you can type. And then if you highlight that text, you can change the font for the text, and you can change the size of the font, and so forth and so on. When you adjust the image, the text then also adjusts. You can do the same thing with any of the objects that you did with the picture, and you can order the object to be in front of or behind other objects, including text. Back up on the Insert menu, not only can you insert shapes, but you can insert tables, charts, diagrams, word art, and lines. I'm going to go ahead and insert word art, and I'm going to type just the word word art. And then I'm going to click off of it. Once the word art appears on my slide, I can change the size of it by grabbing on any of the handles, and I can reorient it in any way that I like. Again, by selecting on the word art, the menu changes, and I can choose to change the fill color, the line, the weight of the line, etc. To change the order of my word art, I simply have to right-click on it, hover over Order, and then choose to either send it backward or forward depending upon where it is relative to the other objects that are appearing on my slide. I'm going to go up to the Insert command one last time and show you that you can insert a line. You can draw a straight line, and if you're drawing that line out and you hold Shift on your keyboard, it will draw it and snap it to a certain degree angle. So you can draw a nice straight line very easily. If you want to take and draw a line that is a scribble, in other words, you can do that anywhere on the screen that you want to and create a line that has any shape to it. Once the shape is highlighted, you can then change the relative color of the shape, the weight of the line that is associated with the shape, the type of line it is, whether it be solid or dashed, and the type of head it has on the line, whether it be an arrowhead or a diamond or a circle or a square or whatever you want. I wanted to point out that you can also hyperlink objects in your Google Slides, not just text. If I hover over the object of the moon and I click on it, and then I right-click on it, I can select Link. I can then paste a link to an external website or again to a different slide in the presentation if I had a slide pertaining to the moon in the presentation. Well, in this case, I've gone to the website nasa.gov and I've gone to the moon section of the NASA site. I'm going to highlight Control-C to copy and go back to my link field of my moon, and I'm going to Control-V to paste that link in there and click Apply. So now, when the presentation is occurring and someone clicks on the moon, it's going to open up the website nasa.gov/moon. I hope this information has been helpful and gives you the opportunity to create some interesting slide presentations for the students in your classrooms. And I hope you have a great day.